Hi, my name is Talia Halliday, and this is my Kickstarter. Ever since I was a little kid, I can remember making things. I love to make, but mostly I yearn to give those things I made to someone else. To share my story with them, to make a difference in their home, in their everyday. As I grew up, things changed. I went to school, I got a job, I had a family. Making wasn't really as big a part of my life as it once had been. That is until 2009 when I participated in my first indie craft show, the Bloomington Handmade Market. Being a vendor at the market changed my life forever. I met the people who I would someday call my lifelong friends and helped to create a community with those people, our maker community. That maker community has grown leaps and bounds since 2009, and in 2013 I set out to create a pop-up shop in order to fully share our maker movement with our local community. See, our maker community has no boundaries on a map. We were and are from everywhere. I met people from Atlanta, from Michigan, from Chicago and Brooklyn. We made friends in Mississippi, Nashville, and even Canada. We are a vast network of makers creating our own meaning from the very things in which we make. But because we're spread across the US and Canada, my town, the one that had inspired me personally to become a maker, didn't have the connection to our maker community that I wanted it to. I wanted my maker community to connect with Bloomington. I wanted my neighbors to meet these awesome crafters and artists that I call friends. I wanted my town to recognize our maker community and support it like it had supported me. And so gathering a handmade pop-up shop was born in February of 2013. I set out to host quarterly pop-ups that coincided with other community events, Mother's Day, graduation, college move-in, ultimately ending in a month-long pop-up for the holiday season. And boy, was that season amazing. Every weekend we hosted different events. We had a local screen printer do a printing demo. We had a Meet the Makers night. We invited families for a kids' make and take craft. And we even hosted a photo booth complete with handmade props to make it all the more fun. And boy, was it fun. But you want to know what was the most fun about that month? The stories, the connections, the differences we made by sharing our art and the history behind the making of it with the very people who were buying it. There was no middleman. It was just you and me and my friends. And so now in 2014, I set out to create not a pop-up this time, but a permanent brick and mortar location where we can share those stories every day. But for the permanent location, I won't be stymied by time or size restrictions. I'll have a space in which to not only share my maker community in the storefront, but I'll also be able to create new communities within the workshop and studio space in the back area. In this workshop and studio space, I plan to host a variety of events to give back to our local maker community. Workshops, lectures, classes, you name it. Along with the workshop space, I hope to also designate a wall in the storefront for the gallery space. This is where I'll host new and emerging artists that perhaps have not had the chance to exhibit before, but also settled and established artists that might be changing their voice or simply looking for a change of pace. Gathering was the pop-up shop, celebrating makers, and it's grown to be Gather, a brick and mortar storefront, workspace, and gallery, supporting makers and artists, creating community, and writing our own stories along the way.
And I want to stop. Hey,